Wild. I mean, AI and blockchain, pretty hot topics, but they're usually pretty hard to grasp,
Yeah, definitely can be a lot to wrap your head around.
especially all the technical jargon, right? I mean, half the time I feel like I need a dictionary just to understand what people are talking about.
Exactly. But what if I told you there's this new AI, her name's Sky, and she can make all of that like way easier to understand?
Oh, okay, so no more needing that dictionary. That sounds pretty good.
Exactly. She can kind of be like your personal guide to the whole world of blockchain, like a mentor, but, an AI mentor.
And we've got this document here called skyintroduction.pds that lays it all out.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
So should we just jump right in?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, cool. So one of the things that stood out to me in the document was this idea of progressive learning paths. It says that Sky uses these paths to help people learn about blockchain at their own pace. But what does that actually look like? I mean, could you give me an example?
Sure, yeah. Imagine you're totally new to blockchain, right? You've heard the word, but that's about it. Maybe you're curious about smart contracts, which are basically like self-executing agreements on the blockchain. A lot of people are talking about them, but how do they actually work? Well, Sky might start by explaining some very basic scripting concepts using simple language and real-world examples so you don't get lost in the technical stuff.
Okay, so she breaks it down into like bite-sized pieces.
Exactly, bite-sized pieces. And then as you start to understand those basic concepts, she gradually introduces more complex topics. Like she might introduce you to Solidity, which is the programming language that's used to actually write smart contracts. And get this, she'll even quiz you along the way to make sure you're actually getting it and not just, nodding along.
Oh, wow. So she holds you accountable.
Yep. Yep, she keeps you on track.
I like that.
Make sure you're really learning, not just skimming. And it adapts to you. Like if you're picking things up quickly, she can move you through the material faster. But if you're struggling with a concept, she'll slow down and maybe even offer you different explanations or examples until it clicks.
That's pretty cool. It's like having a personalized tutor who's always there to help you out.
Exactly.
So we've talked about how Sky helps with the learning side of things, but what about the actual doing? Because blockchain isn't just about understanding concepts, it's about using them, right?
Absolutely. And that's where the whole real-time guidance thing comes in. So blockchain generates a lot of data, right? Like there are gas fees for transactions, transaction volume on different blockchains, even things like sentiment analysis, which is basically trying to gauge how people feel about a particular cryptocurrency.
Right.
And all of that data can be really overwhelming to make sense of, especially if you're new to it all. But Sky can analyze all of that and translate it into insights that you can actually use.
Okay, so instead of just giving me a bunch of numbers, she helps me understand what those numbers actually mean.
Exactly. Let's say you're thinking about making a trade, buying or selling some cryptocurrency. Sky could look at the current market conditions, consider your risk tolerance, and then give you advice on whether it's a good time to make that trade or maybe you should wait a little bit.
That's wild. It's like having a personal financial advisor, but for the blockchain world.
Exactly.
Okay. So she's teaching me, she's giving me advice. That's awesome. But honestly, sometimes the hardest part for me is figuring out how to put these concepts into practice. I mean, actually doing something with them, you know? I might understand the theory, but when I try to do it myself, I get stuck. Can Sky help with that?
Absolutely. And that's where the interactive problem solving feature comes in. So let's say, for example, you're trying to do a transaction on the blockchain and you want to figure out how to minimize those gas fees we talked about earlier.
Okay, yeah. Gas fees can be a real pain.
Totally. So Sky could walk you through the process of finding the most cost-effective way to do that transaction. She might suggest doing it at a different time of day when the network is less congested, or maybe even switching to a different blockchain altogether that has lower fees. Or if you're comfortable with a little coding, she might even help you optimize the code itself to reduce the amount of gas it uses.
So it's not just about theoretical knowledge, it's about actually getting things done.
Right. And the best part is that the feedback is immediate. So you can see the impact of your decisions in real time, which helps you learn so much faster.
Wow, that's incredibly helpful. So it seems like Sky would be great for beginners. But what about people who already have some experience with blockchain? I mean, would they still find her useful?
Oh, definitely. One of the really cool things about Sky is her adaptive communication. She can tailor how she interacts with you based on your level of expertise.
Okay, so if you're already a blockchain expert, she's not going to waste your time with the basics.
Exactly. If you're a seasoned developer, she can jump right into the deep end with you. She can analyze complex smart contracts, help you troubleshoot tricky coding issues, even discuss advanced market trends with you. And she can adjust the technical depth of her explanations, using jargon and terminology that you're already familiar with.
That's pretty impressive. So she's not just for beginners. It's like she can grow with you as your knowledge expands.
Precisely.
Now, the document also mentioned that Sky's expertise goes beyond just blockchain. Is that right?
That's right. Her knowledge base is pretty diverse. We're talking things like artificial intelligence systems, project management, even real-time market analysis beyond the blockchain. She's like this incredible multi-tool.
Wow, that's a lot of ground to cover.
It is. And the really cool thing is that she can connect insights from all of these different fields. So even if you're working on a blockchain project, she might be able to pull in relevant information from, say, the world of AI or project management to give you a more holistic perspective.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So she's not just giving you tunnel vision
Yeah.
on one specific area, she's helping you see the bigger picture.
Right. Connecting the dots.
So to kind of wrap things up, it sounds like Sky is way more than just some AI that can explain blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like she's this personalized guide, this mentor, and this problem solver all rolled into one. And she can adapt to pretty much anyone's needs, whether you're a complete beginner or a seasoned expert.
Absolutely. And I think that's what's so exciting about her. She has the potential to make this whole world of blockchain and technology accessible to everyone. And that's a really powerful thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's like she's democratizing access to knowledge, which could really shake things up in a good way. So as we finish this deep dive, here's a question for you all to think about. Given everything Sky can do, what's a challenge in your world that she could help you overcome? Maybe you're a developer who's struggling with a particular coding problem, or maybe you're an investor trying to make sense of the crazy cryptocurrency market. Or, hey, maybe you're just someone who's really curious about all of this, but you've been too intimidated to really dig in. How could Sky help you? It's something worth thinking about. So thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.